Yes, we are back. Back again in Train Sim World number 5. Back again to do some more, well, trains, because it's Train Sim World 5. What are you expecting? It's not Flight. This time, because of the release next week of Manchester Commuter, I thought we'd stay in the area and have a look at Glossop again. So some 4-line runs on the Glossop line, which goes in and out of Piccadilly, which is where we'll be going next week on Manchester Commuter. See what I did there? If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get the route. There'll be a link down there to the Twitch page where you can watch me live on Twitchy 6 days of the week doing all sorts of things, including trains. And the link down there to the Discord type server thing as well. Good evening to Trenty, Colin the Caterpillar, and McBone. So yeah, I know there's the newly released Rail Tour thing. I'll do some content on that, but wanted to do this ahead of next week. Thanks, Connor, and hi, Antwort, and hi, Tiger. So, yes, not London Commuter. No, Manchester Commuters next week. But tonight, or this time, going to be doing, what done there, look, Glossop, which does run in out of Manchester Piccadilly, up towards Hadfield and Glossop. And then next week is that, which also runs out of Piccadilly. First 2 stops are the same, and then it splits off. So Hadfield and Glossop is where we are going to be going this time. So let's jump in with it then. Choose a route thing. Right. So Timmy table. We'll go with the 323. We'll start with a 323 because that's going to be the one that's going to be done next week anyway. And we will start at Manchester Piccadilly. So we'll do this one then. The 1031 going from Manchester Piccadilly to Hadfield via Glossop. There's a part 1 and a part 2. So we go up and then it splits, turns around and goes back. Slow day at work for you. Oh dear, not good for a Tuesday. Hi Daz. We'll leave the date. All right, Nige. We'll leave the date as it is today, which isn't the date you're watching on YouTube, unless you're watching it next year. Could be. Let's click going. He's never sure about purchasing this. Oh, that's track IR. The only thing with it is the turnaround bit at the top, which is realistic because we stood there the other year and waited for it at Hadfield. But yeah, into forward. I've just done that, haven't I? Yeah, right, into forward. Unlock doors on the right-hand side. Well, some people like to protect their laptops. I would do if I was sending a laptop somewhere. I would be going, we wanted to protect tail lights off, headlights are on day. There we go. So Manchester Piccadilly, which is somewhere we're also going to be next week for Manchester Commuter. Hopefully then there'll be layers in this, so we'll see both lines running in and out. That's going to be the interesting thing. You will be able to route hop between the two, which is good when we get Manchester Commuter. Yes, cake layers, layer cake and all that. So yeah, in case you missed it, here's the route. So we go out of Piccadilly, which is number 1 on your map, and then go all the way down to Hadfield in this instance, which is number 17. And then it turns around, goes back to Glossop, and then I think goes back to Hadfield, and then goes back to Manchester. So we'll see what we can do. Cake by the ocean. Some ocean cake. Can you have cake when you're abroad? Hi, Amy Lou. Normally, if you're seaside, it's fish and chips, isn't it? That's the traditional thing. Would you walk along the prom eating a cake? I don't think... Trent probably would. He'd see no issue with that. Or ice cream. Yeah, you could walk. Ice cream's acceptable for seaside, but could you still get a cone? You used to get those cones of chips. Or do you think you still get those? Alright, doors are closing. Didn't see anyone get on. We got any passengers? Oh, we have got passengers. Okay. A nice Madeira cake by the... Okay. Colin actually knows what cake he wants. Right, let's get going. I'll open the window. Okay, got to keep our eye out for lights that are red. Madeira, is that the one with the... What's the one with the... No, I'm thinking of Battenberg. You couldn't eat anything... It's got to be hand-holdable cake, isn't it? You can't have cake that you need like a fork. It's got to be something you can just hold in your mitt. If it's cold and you're wearing mittens, even. Nice bit of marzipan. Ooh. I used to know someone that would only eat the marzipan. Yeah, but no. The question was, is a cake that you can walk along the seafront eating? Hello, if you just joined, by the way, we're on the Glossop line discussing cake. Right, we're 1.3 miles from Ashbury's. So yeah, so for next week, this first bit is going to be the same. I think we split off then. I did show the map. I'll show it again. Yeah, so the top then is what we're doing next week. Manchester to the Audley Edge. And then we split off. And then we did that route last year in December. I'll stop showing the map so often. You love carrot cake. I don't mind a bit of carrot cake. You really need to sit down whilst eating cake. Is it in the 323? Yes. Yeah, but handheld cake. What about, you could have those Mr. Kipling other cake brands are available. The little individual ones. You can have those, surely. I know, Connor. I do apologise. I'll stop doing things like that. I thought I'd get the map up ready for next week. And while I was there, I thought I'd do this map to show the comparison. Because I was being all efficient. You mean one... But yeah, for you, Trent. Trent's the only person I've ever known that can buy one of those like boxes that have got the individual cakes in and just sits and eats the lot. Right, so we're not stopping here. This is not a place we're stopping. And you can tell that by the way that we're not stopping at it. A little Thomas Tank cake. Well, you should know, Colin, because you're named after a cake. You know, Colin the Caterpillar cake. So that's the depot, isn't it? So where does next week split off then? Is it here or is it back there? I'm intrigued now to see where we split, because it doesn't go to Ashbury's. It must be back there, I'm guessing. I'm not going to show the map again. A whole 11 trains a week. That's many trains. Right, we are slowly in for Ashbury's. Sounds like some sort of name of a cafe or a bar. I'll meet you in Ashbury's later for a pint. Oh, that's clicking noises. You have 11 trains an hour. Well, you're a show-off, aren't you? I bet there's more than that come through... Actually, no. Sometimes there aren't that many that come through Swindon. Unlock doors. Yeah, I do like these. These were nice, well, as nice as they could be in Birmingham. I think actually when we went to Manchester last year, it was one of the ex-West Midlands ones we were on. Hello, welcome to Ashbury's. Can I take your order? Table for two, sir? No, just table for one. Oh, I do apologise. You can eat a packet of Costa Creams. I had a packet of Jammy Dodgers lunchtime. Right. Guide Bridge is next. Is that a bit like a guide dog? I suppose it's one of those things you're used to, though, isn't it? If you're on a branch line and you're used to only getting a couple of trains an hour, then when you're going somewhere, you set your schedule around that. What have you done, train? Thank you. It stopped me. I bought some after 8s for Christmas. I think I had them in February. Right, there's obviously a train fault there because it stopped me. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, it was a purposeful stop. That's a better screenshot. Testing the brakes, make sure the brakes worked. It's my excuse. Well, I was testing them just to make sure that they worked. One train each way from Stockbridge to Staley Bridge. Oh, it's one of those, is it? They've got to run it to keep the thing going. Hi, Pops. Dragging brake test. Exactly, see? I don't know what it did, it just stopped me. Right, so going all the way to Hadfield, then we'll do the cross the top bit to Glossop, and then come back to Manchester. And I think you can also use the 158 on this, so I'll give that a go. Reddish South. What about Reddish North? What about slightly reddish? Was that a place, or was that Radish? Denton. Wasn't that where Frost was set? But yet, in one of the episodes, there's a map behind him that was quite clearly Swindon. Because, you know, we're that good at the town. Surprised that hasn't been remade. Although we got a lot of police dramas. I've been watching The Bay this afternoon. Season 4 now. I'm only got one season to go. Reddish. Hang on, so there is a Reddish North? I didn't actually know. I was just going, well, if it's a Reddish South, is there a Reddish North? And there is actually a Reddish North. See, who knew? Well, apart from the people that know. I don't know. It's not on the 3-month plan, is it? The Tadami line. I think it's gone. So I think it'll be a while before we get the Japanese line. Our Manchester commuter was originally due out before Christmas. So, you know. To be honest, though, I'd rather wait for something and have it be right rather than it be released too early. So I think they did the right thing by going, no, we're not releasing it yet. New Mills. I've been there. When did I go there? I'm sure I've been to New Mills. Why would I have been to New Mills? Why does that ring a bell? I'm sure I've been to New Mills. Anyway, we are 0.6 miles from Guy Bridge. Looks like there were more lines. Is that a line over to our left? Oh, that's an old line over to our left. No longer a line. Or a lion. You can ring my bell. I can honk my horn. There we go. Right, we're now approaching Guide Bridge. Trains don't usually have bells. What if you fit what? Doorbells? If you fit a Ring doorbell to your train. They have a whistle. American trains have bells. Annoying things. Right, we've arrived here. Right, I know we're late, but it's got to be done, isn't it? Right, how quickly can we find one? No. Baldy! Hello! Found one. I don't like those 3 seating things. Doors closing that side. The 323s do sound good. Any gingers? I don't know. I was looking for boardies. You should have been looking for gingers. Right, next time, Colin, you look for gingers. Oh, that's brakes. That one. We're due at the next due at Flowery Field in 3 seconds. I don't think that's going to happen. So we're 3 stops in, 2 stops in, and we're already late. Any gingers? Yeah, in the driver's seat. Uh-huh. Thank you. Not one of those places that, you know, if you're a hard nut from the Manchester area and someone asks you whereabouts you live, Flowery Field, isn't it? In a Manchester accent. I can't do Manchester. 6 stations. That's many stations. It's more than 5. Manchester. Spoke to Ed earlier. Anyone interested? Spent a bit of time with us on the farm. Doing okay. Speaking of Manchester. Godly, what about cream? If only more people listened to you, it would have saved so much time. I know, Richard, I apologise. We were having issues with the farm production. Richard said what it was. I just completely ignored him. Spent like the next hour and a bit trying to solve the problem and then went, oh no, it could be that. That's what I told you. Oh yeah. Right, braking. Slightly late into Flowery Field.
Please release me, let me go.
No, because I don't love you anymore. Thank you, Richard. 58 months. That's many of the months. I'll just call you Richard. Michael. I said Richard's name. Somebody ignored Richard. Colour me shocked and surprised. That was my... I know, I read the name below. It's not easy doing this, you know. How much is the... What? Oh, locked doors. That's me. Look, what do you expect from me? Professionalism? Yes. Wait, really? You is that what you're expecting? How long have you been coming here? You expect entertainment. That's entertainment. You've amputated at it? What? What have you amputated? Your name was... It came up and then I'm blaming Colin because he put Richard's name, so I read that. Attempered what? Glass? Yeah. No, you did that before on one of the quizzes. Confused the heck out of us all. It's been a while since I've been in a flowery field. Alright, we are now arriving at Newton-for-Hyde. Yeah, we did this route 2 years ago on the Christmas meetup. It was freezing cold and there's like snow on the ground. And we decided to go for a wander to find a shop at Hadfield. And then Michael went into a pub for a pee. Derek's alive! No, Gordon's alive is, if you're thinking of Flash Gordon. A very posh pub. Do not leave your luggage on the station. Locking doors. Keep threatening to go and watch a one-day cricket match. Last time I went, it was just an excuse to get drunk. Right, Godly. No cream. What was their song? Were they a one-hit thing? Godly and Cream? Under Your Thumb. I'd probably know it if I heard it. Oh yeah, Cry. Cry was what I was thinking of. That's a good tune. Yes, that is what cricket is. You seem to have done the brakes thing on me again, train. Why are you... Really? Thank you. I'm guessing that was probably a neutral section I went through then, and I was powered on. I can do that. There you go. Right, 400 yards to Godley. Oh god, that's lots of braking. Less braking. Slightly less braking. And stop. I'm glad that these trains got to live on. Well, some of them did. Obviously, when they were taken out of Birmingham, went up to... I can hear a road. I'm guessing we're near a motorway. I wonder how Cream signs his messages. The word Cream? Would Cream like dance music? Am I getting near the A57? I'm guessing this might be this up here. Oh yeah, there's vehicles down there. That's what we can hear. Cars on that there road. Oh yeah, no, Cream was a supergroup. Creamfields was an event. I was getting my creams and my fields mixed up, see? Yeah, Clapton was in Cream. His name was Lola. He was a showgirl. Oh no, it wasn't that, was it? Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. Someone put that in the Discord yesterday or this morning. Yeah, I wasn't really going to try and stop at that station, honestly. Godley Junction. I wonder if it's a thing with like those sorts of old stations, whether someone's actually got the forethought to go, you know what, we're going to leave it there, because who knows what's going to happen with rail and the expansion of towns and stuff in the future, that, you know, it may actually be required again. You're probably right there, Colin. And now about to stop at Roy Hattersley. Doors are unlocking on the right hand side of the train. I'm going to show the map. It's been a while. So this is the route we're on. We started on the left hand side. We're going all the way down to Hadfield, which is the right hand end at the top. Then we turn around to go down to Glossop, and then we come back and go back to Manchester. And then next week we've got Manchester commuter out, which starts at the top at Manchester Piccadilly and goes all the way down to Alderley Edge. I did it again. I do apologise. I'll stop doing it. Realise I'll be doing the other way around next week. That should be Monday, by the way. Hopefully I'll be doing Manchester commuter, because it releases next Tuesday. Is that the AA map? It's the AA map of Manchester, of Glossop. Yeah, tomorrow we're back with some buses in the bus, doing some bus type stuff in Berlin, doing the bus. Thursday night, you might get some Thursday night farming. We will see how we go. Friday night, there's about 3 of us, I think, playing with our balls. And then Saturday night is going to be trucking. So trucking and tunes, and then Sunday more farming. Yes, Manchester Commuter release is on the 1st, which is next Tuesday. So I will be streaming it next Monday. Manchester Airport didn't have a train station until 1993. So we've got this airport here. Shouldn't we try and connect it to something? Or isn't there the other one? We discussed this before, didn't we? Where the station is nowhere near the airport. Is that Doncaster, which is temporarily closed? Or is that Leeds Bradford? Teesside, was it? Cardiff. Oh, Cardiff isn't. Yeah, the Roos Bay Cardiff International Planey Landy place. Boyo. Teesside. I had tea earlier. Exactly. It's not, as people think, that Clanfar Philip, whatever his name is. That's the longest single place name, but not the longest place name in Wales. Doors are unlocking on the correct side. I did press the button all the right way around. Yeah, I thought about doing Wales, but then Llanfar Phil, nice guy. I thought, no, because the new one's out next week, we can go in and out of Manchester. Right, 2 miles to Dinting. Don't you go dinting my train. Oh, they're stood there waiting. You've got a long wait for the next train. Shouldn't imagine it's a very regular service up here. Was it a couple of trains an hour? We've seen one going the other way every 30 minutes. Hang on, I've got to do the maths now. So 60 minutes in an hour, 30 minutes, that'd be 2 trains, it's 2 ago. Yeah, so a couple of trains an hour. Another one. Hello train, I shall toot to you. That's a bridge. Bridgy thing. Slightly bridgy. How do you join your bus company in OMSI? Apply. Search for it. And then click apply. How do you go about doing that? Go into somewhere. Open up BCS. Search for public companies. Search for Sims and stuff. Click apply. Mention your ginger and you'll be in. You got to know the secret handshake. No problemo. If you get stuck, we're here all week. Well, not all week, because, you know, does the bus game work now? Seems to be. We'll find out tomorrow. I tried it the weekend and it seemed okay. I wouldn't like to see what Colin's secret handshake is. We can't talk about Colin's secret handshake. It's a private company. But it was, look, it was close. Don't you start coming here with your logic and reasons. Public, private. Don't get you involved. Why? Hi everyone. That's going to take a while. Individually? Is it like an AA meeting where you got to stand up and go, hi, I'm Steve. I'm addicted to orange Kit Kats. It's been 3 years since my last, no, 3 days since my last, oh, I don't know, a period of time since my last orange Kit Kat. Oh, that's speeding. That was a lot of speeding going around there. Passengers will be fine. Yeah, we were here in December before last. And it was Michael, you're addicted to food. I'm addicted to food. Right, so this is a little spurry bit now. So down the other side, I was pointing and everything, of there is the Glossop. That one. Vivian Westwood. Well, there you go. Hi, I'm Trent. You've been sober for 11 years. Sober from what? You have some sort of drug habit when you were 9. Doors. There we go. You're addicted to Facebook. You are, McBone. Oh, we do like... Oh, look, we talking about cake again. No, Amy Lou. Probably wait till there's something with an 18 plus up. We still didn't establish what was a good walking and eating cake. Yeah, so behind us down that line is Glossop. So we got to go down here, turn around, bright eyes, and then go back the other way. Hadfield's the other way. Oh yeah, we're going to Glossop. Look, okay, fine. Yeah, Hadfield's our finals. So we're going to Glossop and turn around and go, okay, look. Right. A rocky road. That's not cake, that's an ice cream. What about rock cake? Because they're like individual, aren't they? So you can have rock cake. That's like the tough thing with currants in, isn't it? To look like a, like a rock. A caramel egg tiffin. Okay. I had a Cadbury's cream egg. When did I ask? About 6 weeks ago, something like that. Disappointed. I'm not saying they used to be bigger, but I was just disappointed. Right, we'll shortly be approaching Glossop. That's Glossop, not Hadfield. Glossop. Right, I have 600 yards. Go to lip. What? Many facts. Interesting things about Glossop. There's a nice shop in Hadfield. That's what I say. I don't know what I say. Right, braking. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now arriving at Glossop. After watching the Bay, as I have done the last couple of weeks, including some episodes today, I really want to go to Morecambe. It's probably one of those places I'd be highly disappointed by. It's far too close to Nico. That's a reason not to go. That's a great reason why not to go to Morecambe. It's too close to Nico. It's a long old drive from here. It costs about £4,000 on the train. And stop. He has done it a few times from here. Right, so that's that bit, but what we'll do is we'll return. So now we've got to go back the other way. So what we need to do is put that into off. Take the key out. Put the lights on. Off, tail lights to on. Hi Daniel. Alright. Alright. Hopefully Colin's looking for gingers. I see Baldy! I see me Baldy. Past the toilet. Who would sit here? I don't see any gingers. You'd sit there, would you? Baldy. Excuse me. Get out, thank you. Right, key in. Key in. Reverser into forward. Headlights to day, tail lights to off. Lock doors. And now we're leaving Glossop, going to Hadfield. 3 minutes late. That's Hadfield, not Glossop. In Morecambe on the... I've done a video on that recently, didn't I? Did I do the pacer on the Morecambe branch line? Because that's on the Preston to Carlisle, isn't it? Possibly, maybe. Because obviously everyone watched that video. You're just saying. No. You don't pay attention to trains. No, I know. It's definitely a weird little line, isn't it? The fact that you go down there, turn around, come up here, turn around, and then you go back to... Do you come back here again? I can't remember. Is it back here again, and then you go back from here to Manchester? Where are we? Oh yeah, because timetable doesn't work. Okay. Haven't fixed that yet, Dovetail, have you? Glossop, then Dinting. Oh, so we don't go back to... Yeah, we do then. Go back to Glossop. So it goes Manchester, Glossop, Hadfield, Glossop, Manchester. Why doesn't it go Manchester, Glossop, Hadfield, Manchester? Oh, some trains use the other Dinting platform. Well, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? There's a red in a mile's time. I have seen the red. We know there is a red. So left there is Dinting. Yes, we've got to come back to where we've just been and then go down there to Dinting again. Still quicker than busing it. It's surprising how far out it is. It was quite nice on that cold December day or in the November day, wandering down the high street in Hadfield. I think the person in the shop was surprised to see like how many of us there were. 6 people turn up. Yeah, so that's the line that goes to the other side of Dinting. Do we carry on round? I know it's like a mile either side of Dinting, but I suppose people must use it, otherwise they wouldn't service them. You'd think then if they weren't serviced, that the train would only go as far as Dinting, and then you'd have to get from Glossop or Hadfield to Dinting. The red is the end of the platform. Yeah, I did one of my Merry Christmas videos from that platform as well, in snowy conditions from memory. See these little things I do. Record my little Merry Christmas to go out at 6 o'clock Christmas morning. Record me Happy New Year to go out at midnight. Where I was in bed last year. That's not an inconsiderable amount of passengers then, is it? So you can see why they do run them. A commuter belt, I suppose. It must be frustrating though when you get on the train. I suppose you wouldn't, would you? You got on the train at Glossop and you're going to Manchester. In the winter, I imagine you'd get on it, it'd go all the way to Hadfield, turn around, come all the way back to Glossop, turn around, and then go down to Manchester. So you'd be like, I've been here. I was here like 25 minutes ago. But I suppose that's the only way of getting people from Hadfield to Glossop and Glossop to Hadfield. If you're travelling between the two, which I should imagine some people probably do. If there's a school at one end, I should imagine school kiddies. Yeah, so we must have done the turnaround at Glossop then and then decided to get off at Hadfield and we waited for the next train. Yes, I think we had like half an hour, which is just long enough to get down to the shop and then come back up. Nice little station. Yeah, I took a photo of the buffers down there all covered in snow. It was a very cold day. Right, so if I shut this down again then. You remember now, yeah. Right, so we'll carry on. So those to off, tail lights to on. We've got to run back down the other end then, which will do the quick way. Yeah, it was here. I took a picture of those buffers. I do remember being stood here. We walked off down the high street to the shop. Ow. Shot myself in the face with a door. Excuse me, you, out of the way. Thank you. Right. Key in. Reverser to forward. Lock doors. Headlights to day. Tail lights to off. So you've got to go back to Glossop now. Right, back we go. Really? It likes to keep putting the brakes on me, doesn't it? Right, back to Glossop. We got timetable? No. And then it'll be back to Manchester. Have a Kit Kat every time. You'd be fat, wouldn't you? Every time you had a break, you had a Kit Kat. It'd be the size of a hoose. This is one of those little tiny Kit Kats. Right, power. At least the turnaround's fairly straightforward on these things. I can actually do this one. Oh, yeah, I used to like chunky Kit Kats. Gone off them now. I'll buy Kit Kats if they're on sale. Slight bit of speeding. All the passengers now on one side of the train, it's fine. You'd almost think what would make sense here, although it's staffing and costings, wouldn't it, would be to put a platform on the back of that dinting and almost just have a shuttle going up and down between the three. So I have a train going from Glossop to Dinting to Hadfield to Dinting to Glossop, and then the Manchester trains only go as far as Dinting and turn around and go back. Viscount biscuit, oh, they are nice. I nearly bought some of those Tunnocks wafer things the other day. Nearly. Well, that's what it used to be with Cardiff Bay. There would be a train that would just trundle between Cardiff Queen Street and Cardiff Bay, but then they realised that, well, that can actually do other things. I think the poor staff, which it was. I spoke to one of the guards when he was walking backwards and forwards. I said, "You must get fed up with this." He said, "Yeah, 8 times I've done it now. Only another few more and I've got a break." So it used to be Cardiff Bay, turn around, go back to Queen Street, turn around, back to Cardiff Bay, turn around, back to Queen Street. You spend more time on the turnaround than you do on the actual journey. A bit like the what's the Birmingham one with the Parry People Mover? That's just a little tiny shuttle that goes backwards and forwards. Lichfield town in it. Never been ticket checked on that. Been on it, what, 3 times? No one seems to bother checking your tickets. It's almost one of those that people just get on and then know you're not going to get ticket checked. Right. We've arrived back at Glossop. Okay. Unlock doors. So, those to off. Tail lights to on. That to off. Yeah, thank you. Key out. And let's go outside. See how we're now at the other end. Glossop. Yeah, Manchester Piccadilly, 11:20 on time. But it's not, 11:22. You demolished a box of chocolate fingers at work today. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, I sort of get that, Michael. But with there isn't. There's no ticket barrier at either end. Right, that into forward. Day. Off. Right, I'm going to get the map out again. So this is where we are now. We are at Glossop, which is bottom right-hand corner of the map. And we're now going all the way back to Manchester Piccadilly, where next week's route also starts from, which is there, coming out next week, Manchester to Audley Edge. So we'll be doing that next Monday. And if it's any good, next Tuesday as well. Well, yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? That's also the issue. I'm guessing there's certain like groups of people that you just, for your own safety, it's just not worth it. You know damn well they probably haven't got tickets, but you don't want the risk, and I totally get that. That's where automated barriers work, although, you know, late night stations and stuff, they just jump the barriers. Or, as I've seen on multiple occasions, you'll get people that will just go through one behind the other. Happened a lot in Brussels as well. People just lingering around, and then will just go through with someone to avoid paying. I must imagine do the same the other way. Piccadilly. I do like a bit of Piccadilly. Right, so now going back to Dinting, then all the way back to Manchester. And I think there's some trips we can do in the 158 when we get back there. So we'll have a look at that. Yeah, tomorrow night back with some more of The Bus in multiplayer. We're going to be looking at the new route, the 147 in Berlin. So giving that a go. Thursday night might be some Thursday night farming. Friday night, a couple of us playing with our balls in Golfing with Idiots. Saturday night we got some ETS2s from Trucking and Tunes. And then Sunday lunchtime, more farming. So lots of things to come this week. Got you all week. Well, yeah, I spoke to you today. We're in the stream tomorrow. We're in the stream on Thursday, in the stream on Friday, in the stream on Saturday, in the stream... Oh, God. Really? So back to Dinting. We're only about a minute late as well. There is only 6 now. We may get a couple more by the end of the week. It's only Tuesday? Tuesday. See if we can get Ed to join. He managed to sit for a couple of hours, about 3 hours he sat for today on the farm. I think chances of that are quite slim. Right, doors are locking. Yes, Michael. Right, hang on. Did we stop there on the way up? Broad Bottom? We didn't stop at Broad Bottom, did we? Is this a different stopping pattern on the way back? Yeah, still got no timetable. Actually, we can check, can't we? Glossop, Dinting... Oh, no, we did. Broadbottom. No, okay, we did. Hattersley. Okay, station named after you. Not Broadbottom Girls, Broadbottom Michael. train. That's obviously been waiting for us, because that's got to go into Dinting. And that's got to do the shuffle around. So it's a fairly frequent, I suppose. That's not 30 minutes. It's not going to take that 30, well, 11:33 it said. So it must have a lot of wait time. So it's got to go one, the other, back to the 10 minutes each. Yeah, maybe. Because I was running late. Finally give it some beans. And not of the baked variety or the kidney variety or the cannelloni variety or the haricot or the broad. Can't think of any more. Green. Oh yeah, green. Really? You're gonna... Really? Jelly beans. Yeah, well, it's a bean. You could have a jelly bean. I'm guessing it is a bean. Why does everything always revolve back to food? I suppose in reality you'd get used to a neutral section, wouldn't you? You'd know where it was and not to be on the power, which is what's catching me out. And well, in the fact I'm useless, and that would also do it. Yeah, I'm not a foodie though. What do I have today? Curry. Frozen curry from Home Bargains, which is actually quite nice. Butter chicken. Right, we've got a 60 limit, but it's pointless accelerating because we got a station. You had liver, oh dear. I didn't have any naan breads. I was going to have pasta. Pasta was what's on my list to have tonight, but I didn't fancy pasta. And I thought, I've got pizza. Do I have pizza? I thought, no, I'll do that like tomorrow or something. So, curry. I buy a naan bread for when I have a curry on a Saturday, but didn't have any. It is with katsu, Uncle Ben's katsu flavoured rice, which is really nice. As rices do go. Blimey. I'm not giving people time to get on and off there. I'm sure there are plenty of nans in Swindon. They're probably out. Yeah, Ben came round. He did. Nice guy. Right, Hattersley. In 1 mile. I wonder how long these will run on this line. Obviously, the West Midlands ones were brought up to here. Well, they were getting on a bit from Birmingham. So I should imagine there must be only temporary, ready to be replaced at some point by something else. Whether they'll get the angry trains like there are in Birmingham. I would like that. I think that would be an awesome upgrade to Birmingham Cross City to get the new Angry trains. Oh, they're staying in service. Blimey. I think they're built in the 80s, 90s. Is that all? There's only 17 of them. Because these are on the... I'm bringing up the map. Be warned. 27 miles. Route hopping. Yeah, that's the 323. So the 323 is on Manchester Commuter as well. And there's only 17 of them. Yeah, because a lot of the ones from Birmingham must have been scrapped. Because there was already some of these up here. Is this one of those things now? You've got to go on to find a geeky website that lists them all and tells you where they are. There will be a website that does that. There will be. Right, we're not stopping at this. Are we stopping at this station? Oh, 17 for Glossop. Oh, okay. Oh, it's got 34. Oh, 9 are stored. Ah, okay. I'll say 17 didn't sound that many. It says 17 on the Glossop line. That seems quite a lot for 2 trains an hour. Nine for spares, yeah. Well, some of them were in a bit of a poor state, the ones who went on in Birmingham. They've been around a while, full of, you know, hairy-ass brummies farting on them and peeing on them and whatever else brummies do. Right, Newton for Hyde. Yeah, it's not a bad little line, this. Again, this is one of those that something I'd like to see in Train Sim World 6 is the ability for it to load more than one map at once. So if you're loading up this one, it would also load in the adjoining line. Obviously you can option it not to, but loading this, it'd load in Manchester Commuter as well. So you could just get off this, get on a Manchester Commuter train and go without having to do the route hop thing. There's some being refurbished. Yeah, new upholstery and probably info screen. I think everyone I went on, the speakers were so distorted and blown. You know that website for tracking these trains will be some 11-year IT HTML. Yeah, it will be. Year 11. Oh, it will be. Someone's done a list, didn't they? There will be a list showing every Class 323 and where it is. I imagine it's probably on the Wikipedias. Right, back to Flowery Field. It's the only thing with trains, isn't it? Is preserving them. And I do get the reasons for preserving them. But it's more difficult, you know, preserving, as Richard was out at a bus thing at the weekend. You know, preserving an old bus or coach is easier. You just got to find a, you know, a barn or an old hangar or something to store it in, haven't you? And you can work on it fairly simply. You know, storing and working on an old train, not so easy. And then taking it for a run, you can't just take it out on a Sunday afternoon, can you? We're only a minute and a bit late. One thing I'm looking forward to at Locomotion is the prototype Pacer. They have one there. It's going to be the highlight of my my trip to Locomotion, I think. Oh yeah, is that this weekend, Glastonbury? This weekend, or has it been and gone? This weekend coming, isn't it? It's going to be nice weather. I don't even know who's headlining. Yeah, a guy I watched on YouTube did Glastonbury shuttles, the coach driver, and it was like a real convoluted way in. So basically, they turn all the lanes around Glastonbury into like a massive one-way system. So you go in one way and out the other. Rod Stewart's there. Oh, fair play. Doing good. Begins on a Wednesday. That's earlier, and it used to be like you could go in on a Thursday and it'd start on a Friday. Thing is, isn't it horrendously expensive for a ticket? Like 200 quid or something. And then they've got a captive audience when it comes to food and drinks. But I suppose people go and enjoy it. You know, you're probably going to spend another, what, £100 a day if you're a drinker. In 1975, Neil Young and Olivia Rodrigo headlined the Pyramid Stage. I've heard of Neil Young. I've heard of the 1975. I couldn't tell you any of their songs. Yeah, that's part of the camping thing, isn't it? Every time I've been camping, I've had to get myself blind drunk to be able to sleep. So you get in your sleeping bag on the ground and then pass out. Yeah, sleep. Wake up, it was either kippers for breakfast, you know, tinned kippers, or some bacon grill, because that's what you get when you go on holiday with Brummies. A bit of fresh air, and then start drinking again. A minute late. That's not bad. I'll take a minute late. We are now at Guide Dog. Oh, Michael Amos, whatever his name is. They make an absolute fortune, and businesses make a fortune. It wouldn't do it if it didn't make money, would they? That's all they do. They have one Glastonbury, and then yeah, they're planning the next one. That's why the tickets go on sale like 6 months before. I might see if, because it's probably beyond the iPlayer or something. I'd be interested to watch a bit of Rod. Oh, so it's back the year after. Because there was rumours about moving it. Because weren't they? There was rumours of moving it to Longleat. Worth 9 million. Is that all? That's a steam train. That was a steam train. Yeah, it's interesting. You see like cows wandering around in the fields with the pyramid stage behind. Problem is, it's geared up, isn't it? The infrastructure's there. You know, the trains that are laid on and the shuttle services from the train stations. It's all there. Local businesses, all the camping, roads that have to get rejiggled. It's just such a big thing that moving it. There's probably people that are gutted when it's in off year because, you know, like burger vans and stuff like that, they must make an absolute killing. Yeah, it's probably not cheap, you know, a tenner for a burger, but, you know, they've also got to pay their staff and extortionate pitch fees for being there. You know, you see people going in with like those fishing trolleys just stacked up with cases of beer. My thing is, you pitch your tent. What hope have you got of finding your tent when it's dark? A lot of people, which does cost them money, just leave the tent. Which you would, wouldn't you? You're paying 20 quid for a tent to sleep in for a couple of days. Would you go through the effort of packing it up unless you knew you were going back next year? Festival's total revenue reached 68 million. Blimey. Yeah, because it's not just revenue from tickets, is it? It is revenue from vendors. And I should imagine, you know, broadcasting companies and press, would that be free, or would like the BBC be paying to have an area there? Because they've got to put up presenters and stuff. You know, there is an area out the back, I think, with like posh motorhomes and things, and you can pay to go into posh toilets. I wouldn't mind doing a one day. We talked years ago about doing download, but I'd want to go for a day and then come away again. Yeah, glamping. I could do glamping. Yeah, I think Reading Festival's still on. Oh, stupid flipping Class 20 thing there, look. Stupid thing. Where's Richard when you need him? There's no one in it. $28 grand for a pitch. That can't be right, surely. You'd have to sell a lot of chips to recoup 28 grand. Oh, blimey, that's not good, Amy Lou. Right, Manchester Piccadilly. Oh, 2 weeks. 14 grand a week? 2 grand a day? I suppose. That's still a lot of chips to have to cover 2 grand a day, plus wages. So if you said, what, you're paying your staff, I don't know, 150 a day, 4 staff, that's 600 quid. How many bags of chips have you got to sell to cover, including the products? If you said 4 grand a day, what's 4 grand divided by 7? How many £7 in 4,000 pound? 900 portions, 800 portions of chips? That's a lot of chips. It's one of those things, a bit like the podcast I listened to. One of the hosts was getting badgered by his son to go to the British Grand Prix. And he was like, yeah, I've been. It's expensive. You end up sat in a stand, and as all you're seeing is the cars whiz by, and like a minute and a half later, they're whizzing by again. You're actually getting a better experience sat at home. And I think Glastonbury is one of those as well, isn't it? You could probably, if you were into music, you could probably, nice evening, you know, TV or projector, whatever, out in the garden, a few drinks, sing along to whoever's playing, watch it on TV. Right, back into Manchester. Piccadilly we come. So that's taken us an hour and 25 minutes to do a round trip. £2.70 for strawberries and cream at Wimbledon. That seems too cheap. I'll try and watch a bit of that this year. Don't mind a bit of Wimbledon. I remember a few years ago watching that match that went on and on and on and on. Eventually they stopped it at like 10:30 p.m. or something and had to carry on the next day. That got blocked by the mod, Amy Lou. Well, there are certain things, Trent, that sometimes being there is part of the experience. But yeah, I do agree. Sometimes you can just sit at home, you know, decent surround sound system, nice big telly, and you'll get the full immersion without having to spend 400 quid. Right, that's the round trip. I'm sure now. Yeah, but Trent doesn't drink, does he? You know, a third of a can of cider every year. That's pushing it for Trenty. Right. So timetable. We're now going to do 158. Oh, is that it? We're not going to do 158 then. I've done that one. Oh God, class 20. That's only an 18-minute. Guy Bridge to Glossop. But that's at midnight. It's going to be dark. You went to Reading for the experience. Yeah. I can see that. Freight service. Right, tell you what we'll do then. Let's do Glossop. Let's do the same thing again. But maybe we'll do a nighttime run. There we go. We'll go back, but at night. Let's do a dark run. Don't do that many runs at night. Right, key in, forward, unlock doors on the right, headlights are on night, tail lights are off, windows are open. Have we got lights on in the passenger bit? Yes, we have. Even the lights look yellowed. It's this bit I don't like on these. This 3-seat thing. It's just like, it's so flipping crammed in. Welcome to a very quiet Manchester Piccadilly. Imagine this on a Friday or Saturday night. People that have been into Manchester and then live at Glossop or Hadfield. Or anywhere along the way. Just the very drunk service going back. Which happens a lot, doesn't it? On any sort of the last train of the day type situation. I can imagine it's a hell of a sight to see on like the London Underground on the last tube. And imagine being that person that just misses it. As the gates close and you're walking towards the tube station, you're like, oh, what do I do now then? Well, there's a night tube running on some lines at the weekends. Yeah, it's not all lines though, is it? Yeah, well, I've been on trains where it's just full of drunks. You know, last time I went to Birmingham, there was a football match on, and we were on the train after the match. And it was like, holy crap. Right, lock doors. Right, windows down. Right, back to Ashbury's in the dark. Let's see what it looks like at night. I think it was a similar time for the one next week. It didn't seem to take that long when we went on it last December. It wasn't that long a run. 45 minutes, something like that, to do the 4-line run. But yes, we will be back here on Monday night. And they've made some updates to this as well this week. There have been some improvements. So they are still tweaking it and making it better. It's going dark. I don't know which I'd rather do as a train driver. Would you rather do night or day? I think as a coach driver or truck driver, or I actually quite like driving at night or riding motorbikes at night. Less traffic. You can generally see better. But I think as a train driver, I think I'd rather be doing it during the day. Early morning, yeah, when the sun's coming up. There is something nice about a sunrise. Hello. Yeah, I saw. When you go down to Cornwall, rather oddly, I used to leave Swindon on a Friday night when we get down there for 2 weeks camping. I'd leave Swindon at like 10 p.m, drive to Birmingham, load up the cars, and then drive from Birmingham all the way down to or between Padstow and Newquay, and do it overnight, and generally get there for like 6 a.m, something like that. And it was nice just breaking the back of it, although pulling into Exeter Services, which is full of caravans and half asleep people that are just going in for a coffee and a wee, which is pretty much what we did. It was like, right, get to Exeter, you're pretty much, you know, halfway then. You don't like driving at night? I like driving at night. I'm one of those though, I never use main beam. So I just find it a faff to keep turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it. I just go, oh, sod it, I'll just leave it off. If you've got a posh modern car with those lights where it blocks out oncoming people and whatever. Yeah, well, there is that in it, being a train driver. You don't have modern light. Well, I haven't got those matrix LEDs, have I? That blocks out oncoming traffic. That is the advantage of being a train driver. You know, there was that guy on YouTube that, well, until he got stopped recording his travels. That was quite interesting. Is the London Tube driver. So you're just not dealing with the passengers. As long as none of them are getting squished in the doors, your job is to keep to the timetable. The underground guy, that's the one. It's interesting because he had a camera shoved in the cab, and he was talking and explaining the route and stuff, explaining some interesting things. But then I'm guessing TfL, although he said he had permission, I'm guessing someone realised and then they stopped him doing it. So I think he was gaining a lot of subscribers as well. Probably started making some good money off YouTube. And then I think everyone, like me, unfollowed. And I've watched a few, you know, cab rides. They can be quite relaxing. I suppose at night, as a train driver, you can't really worry about what you can't see. So you're not going to see trespassers, you're not going to see anything on the tracks. So from that point of view, why worry about something that you've got no control over? You're just keeping your eye out for the signals, aren't you? Your stopping points would be a bit more difficult. It's during the day, you'll know, right, when you get to that bridge for that station, that's when you start applying the power. If it's rainy, you apply it a little bit earlier, or brakes rather. At night, you don't really have those cues unless you're just relying on lights on stations and stuff. Or a lot of it is track knowledge. Oh, don't. Thing is, the problem there is with those daytime running lights, which I've got them, is that on a lot of cars, it also puts on the instrument lights. And unless you've got automatic lights, which again a lot of modern cars have, which you'll get in the car, you'll see that your dash is lit up, and if you're driving around on lit streets, you probably don't notice you haven't got headlights on. I do struggle because I'm used to auto lights, auto wipers. If I get in one of the works vans, it's like, oh crap, I've got to put the lights on, and oh, it's raining. Oh shit, I've got to flick a stalk. You rely on it, but I know when it's dark, my lights will come on. And you go under a bridge, or if the wipers wipe more than 3 times or 4 times, I think the headlights come on because it thinks you're driving in rain. That's the other thing. People that don't put the headlights on in the rain. Same people that sit in the middle lane of motorways. Right, back to Guide Dog. There's an orange light on the dash, I've just noticed it. Is it anything important? Safety systems isolated. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about things like that. Don't need safety systems. I'm the safety system. I've got cat-like reflexes. Meow. Right, so all the way back to Glossop we go. In the dark. Slightly more relaxing experience at night. I only don't do much nighttime journeys on the streams because you guys can't see much, which same as I can see really, which isn't much, which is realistic being that it's nighttime. Still light here. Well, yeah. Well, we've gone past the longest day now, haven't we? That light's getting... I noticed that with I got my lights in the living room come on when it's dusk. And they're coming on now at like 9:25. Yeah, obviously in the winter they're on at like 4 o'clock. So now I'll see them come on earlier and earlier and earlier. Countdown to Christmas. Alexa, how many sleeps till Christmas?
It's 184 sleeps until Christmas. Santa has a Christmas cracker joke he wants to share with us.
What do snowmen have for breakfast?
I don't know.
Snowflakes! Ho, 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 ho!
Another cracking joke, Santa.
Come back tomorrow for another Christmas update.
Hang on. 365 days in a year, correct? Christmas is 7 days for the end of the year, so that's 358 days. Am I going about this wrong? We're 184 days from Christmas, so are we over halfway? Have we got... No. Another couple of days. No, we are now, aren't we? Or are we? Yeah, we're closer to this Christmas than we are from last Christmas. Is that right? Last Christmas is further away than this Christmas. Can I please give you a warning before I do that? No. Can I show my workings? No. I never understood that, right? At school, at maths. It was right, you get a sum, right, work out the sum, put your answer down. I put my answer down, and I get moaned at. You didn't show your workings. I did in my head. Yeah, but you need to show your workings. What? How I did it? How can you do that? I had constant arguments with the teachers. But you need to know. We need to know how you got to the answer. I did it in my head. I didn't have to take my shoes and socks off. Neutral section. So yeah, Christmas 184 days away. In case you're wondering, 181 days since Christmas 2024. There you go. So we're closer to this Christmas than we are from last Christmas. So yeah, get your sprouts on. Don't know what I'm doing this Christmas. I'm sure I'll be here on Christmas Day, like I have been the last 5 Christmases, 7 Christmases. There will be the traditional Christmas trains one. Shame we haven't done another one of those. I really like that. That's become an annual event. And then last year it was trying to connect all the trains up, wasn't it? So we got pretty close to having the back of the train touching the front of the train. Can we do all the cities in Fernbus? No, but one of the ideas we've got when we get coaches in ETS2 is we will be visiting every capital city in all the countries in ETS2 in coaches. So it won't be on one stream, obviously, because that's a lot of distance. But that's the plan. I don't know how many there are. I should imagine quite a few, and I should imagine it'll be quite a distance. I wonder if you could do it like I did with that YouTube series a few years ago, where you can only get there if you've got a job there. So if we start in London and want to go to Paris, we've got to get a job that goes to Paris. So if it means we have to go to somewhere in France and then hope we get a job that then goes to Paris, we have to do that. So if we can't do it direct, but you'd have to work out a route. You could almost do a similar thing in America as well. You could probably visit every state, state capital. Just bring back my roving driver series. Things I liked that. I'm enjoying the driving academy as well in ETS2. It's actually not done too bad on views for me. There's another one coming this Friday, and there's another one I've already done for next Friday. So my plan is this weekend is to record a couple more. So I quite liked what I did in Train Sim Classic, wasn't it, a couple of years ago with the roaming driver, where I tried to get from where did I start? Scotland, wasn't it, to Penzance? And it was downloading routes, buying routes just so I could get from one place to another place. Yeah, I am really looking forward to the coaches I'm enjoying trucking again, but I am looking forward to the coaches because it's different. And the fact that you've got the multi-drop thing, I think is going to be really interesting. And it's all we need then is a virtual coach company. And I hate to say it, that would probably be the end of OMSI as well. The good thing is with ETS2, you don't need a powerful machine to run it, because the base game and base engine's so old, it actually doesn't take much to run. Right. Newton for Hyde. Yeah, there's sales coming up, I think. So there's a good opportunity to get the missing DLCs. It's one of those that I know it's like a tenner a time, but once you're up to date, they're not expensive for DLCs compared to like DLCs for this, etc. That it is one of those that's worth just picking up as soon as it comes out. Right, it's tenner, done. Because it can be enjoyable. When we get rigids, that's going to be a whole different thing for me. And then coaches, and if they do the same in America, we got this road trip thing, which for years I moaned about people driving cars in, ATS and ETS2, going, it's a truck sim. But well, if SCS are putting it in there as a standard part of the game, well, who are we to decide whether or not it's right? And Nico doing flight, as he has done recently, has almost given me an inkling to maybe fire MSFS up. Because that's quite good from although we can do that in any stream, sit and talk crap and play some music. Yeah, that's my only thing with that. ETS2, Euro Truck Simulator, coaches. I get why they've done it as a DLC, but I still think they missed a trick and not just doing it as a standard game and just using exactly the same map. Get X-Plane out, or blimey. Nico's been doing a lot of flying. He's getting there. I had a lot of planes for X-Plane. The Zebo mod 737. The one thing I'm really enjoying at the moment, which we spent 3 hours on today, which I didn't plan on doing, is farming. And it's great, we've got a bit of interest back in it. That's the thing I'm finding really relaxing. Because today it was, right, I'll go and do that, then I'll go and do this. Ed was trundling about, Richard was fighting with pallets of flour. So yeah, which is why there might be farming Thursday. Yeah, Sundays was a bit of a disaster. I wasn't in the right frame of mind on Sunday, and what I should have done with that, I should have waited. and actually put it as a list of films for me. There is scope for another TV one. And I even think you could do one on, like, oh, that's difficult from a trader's point of view. You could do one like old TV shows that aren't around anymore. And as someone pointed out, I think on Sunday or afterwards, the problem was I was rushing Sundays a bit. Not intentionally, but I didn't really give you guys chance to talk in between the clips. So if I did one again, it'd almost be worth having a conversation. And what I would do next time is actually put the list of shows up before, so that anybody then that is going to watch the stream could almost, not say get ready with some talking points, but actually, yeah, oh, I'm interested in that. So maybe not like days before, but maybe like an hour before. Just post the list in the Discord. Right, these are going to be the shows on the TV stream. And then shows that you may have watched, you can then get ready at that point to chime in. And I even think there's potentially scope with, like, Trent watches a lot of shows. I'm not going to isolate Trent. Trent watches a lot of shows. Well, shows that I haven't necessarily watched. So could it be a case of then, right, Trent does one with his favourite shows. So in the same format, here's the clip, here's where you can watch it. And then I have Trent in voice with me while it's going on. I still play the clips and stuff, but Trent talks about why he likes watching it. And I'm not saying Trent particularly, but something like that might work. So, you know, stuff that I might not have seen. Or I did think about, you know, I've talked about doing like people I follow on YouTube. That would take a bit of time to do. I think that's doable. And again, that could be a thing afterwards to go, well, actually, yeah, I can see that. Why you like that person. So yeah, I'm not going to say there's going to be one in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, probably in the next month we'll do another one. Right, doors aren't unlocking. Fire Country. Have I watched a trailer to that? I don't know. I've heard of it. I'll say I've been watching The Bay today. I actually watched 5 episodes of season 4. I've got 1 to go, which will be watched after the stream. That's really enjoyable. I like it because it's one storyline over the whole series. So 6 episodes a series, and they're only like an hour long or 45 minutes without the adverts. And it's better than just having one storyline, one episode. And I still, maybe over the winter, I still would like to do some sort of weekly, like, film club type thing. So almost go, right, here's this week's film. You've got a week to watch it. Here's a room to chat about it. You know, when you've watched it, just post in there what you think, and then almost do a vote thing on the following week's film. Right, anyone got any recommendations for a film this week? You know, it's got to be accessible to everybody. So on some sort of streaming service that people have got, or, you know, is it an old film that you can go and pick up in CEX for £1 if someone's willing to do that? You know, because there's classic films that I've never seen, like The Godfather. Never seen any of those. Right, we're a mile from Dinting. But it's one of those iconic films that everyone talks about, and it's like, really? It's like actually one of the shows that would be good to showcase on that sort of vein is The Sopranos. Oh my God, that was an amazing show. Or things like 24. I think I saw the first series of 24 in CEX for like £2 on DVD, and that was the first show that I ever binge watched. My brother lent me the DVDs of the first series, and I pretty much was watching like 4 episodes a night, coming in from work and just binge watching it. And within like a week, I'd given it back and go, right, wait, when can I get season 2? A lot of older films are actually, I don't know how illegal it is, but a lot of older films are actually on YouTube. Really old films. It's on Disney Plus, 24. So I think with something like that, what the way it would work, I think. We go on this side. That's interesting. With something like that, you'd almost want to have a spreadsheet of people that are interested, and then people to do a tick box to go, right, what streaming services have you got? So where can you actually put films? Over this side now. Right, unlock doors. Should work out just quite nicely then. We'll go up here to whichever one it is, Hadfield. And then we'll probably turn around and go down to Glossop. And maybe come back and end here at Dinting. Hopefully Larwood, when he gets back to be on UK time, because at the moment he's on Australian time for a couple of months, I think he'd be one that it'd be quite interesting for him to do, because he's introduced me to a lot of good shows and a lot of good films. Oh, seriously, Michael, 24, the premise is each episode is set in real time. So the first episode is an hour, and the clock counts down, and the whole series is over one 24-hour period. And it follows the counter-terrorist guy, Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland. And it was just so different. There was nothing like it when it came out. And the storylines are really good. Takes the first probably episode to get into it. But yeah, then it's one of those to binge watch. Hi, Peanut. Which is like that, The Pit, the medical one that I watched this year. That was the same thing. That was 17 episodes. Each episode was an hour, and each episode carried on from where the previous episode left off. So it's set over a 1 day, 17-hour shift. So it was really good. But yeah, I think another TV one would be interesting. Yeah, I've got to finish The Bay. Then I've got to watch the other one that Trent was on about. Karen, what do we call it? I'm watching The West Wing when I'm at work at lunchtimes. And there's a couple of new series starting as well. Yeah, got a long way home. 2 episodes of that left to go. Dexter Resurrection starts in 2 weeks. Slow Horses back in 3 months. That won't be long. Slow Horses is back the week of Doncaster. Typical. And then Stranger Things in November. I'm looking forward to that. You passed York today. Well, make sure you know where it is, because you're going to be there in September. Don't you go letting us down, Peanut. Don't you And we got Heartstopper. Is that this year? The film Heartstopper? Because when that's... Yeah, it's the final one. They're not doing a series. It's going to be a film, which I'm slightly disappointed by. It almost seems as though it's over too quickly. Because Heartstopper's just amazing. Right. Turn to free roam. Right, so let's go headlights off, tail lights on, key out. Yes, the Downton Abbey one. The thing is, I like Downton Abbey. I've really enjoyed it. Why are you all still on here? Where are you going? It's not one of those you could go back and watch all of it again before the film comes out. I probably watched the last film. Excuse me. Thank you. Service is scheduled to start at 23:59. Yeah, we're 5 minutes late. It is rather long. Lucky you. I bet it's not going to let me go now, is it? Because I'm late.
For your safety and comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy. This includes e-cigarettes.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hot foot it to Glossop, see if it will let me go there. And we'll end when we get to Glossop. It'll be fine. It's back past Dinting. Yeah, famous last words. It'll be fine. What can possibly go wrong? I think if I'm late, it should have just sent me out. It's a bit dark, but that's what generally happens when it's gone midnight. A week later you break up. We're not about the Trent relationship guide, are we? No, it's June, so it was quite warm. Hey, you could write one of those, Pina. It sounds like you've had a fantastic holiday with the hubby. What a relationship. Yeah, it's been a while for me. He wants to do another one. Oh, he likes spending time with you. Well, I'm sure you can educate him, Peanut. Make that your goal. You got him to try bacon for the first time. Blimey. Thanks, Trent. You have been blessed by the Trent. Thank you, Father Trent. Doesn't like back bacon. Yeah, some people don't like back bacon because they're fat. Streaky is the answer. Right, a very slow trundle then into wherever it go, Hadfield, where we've just sodded off, and I don't know if any passengers actually got on at Glossop. Did you miss anything exciting? Not really. It got dark. Now we're trundling our way slightly downhill towards Glossop. You miss Steve driving a train and talking. Tomorrow it'll be Steve driving a bus and talking. Thursday, Steve driving a tractor and talking. Friday, Steve playing with his balls and talking. Saturday, Steve driving a truck and talking. Sunday, Steve driving a tractor and talking. It's the electric one, I think, on Route 147 as well, in Berlin. It is the bus. 69p each, bargain. I see, I don't mind some of the own brand stuff. I think a lot of people now are buying own brand products. Certain things like lemonade, I think orangeade, cola can be a bit meh. But some own brand like soft drinks are really nice. I may go to Waitrose at the weekend. show. Their custard creams are nice. I don't really do fizzy drinks. When I had the Burger King on Sunday, I got a bottle of Fanta with it just because. That sat in my little drinks fridge. And that'll be there. I think last time when I was mowing the lawn on a hot day, I had a fizzy drink. I don't know we do fizzy drinks. Yeah, so it doesn't know I'm here. So we'll open the doors. Sorry, passengers, we now appeared here. Yeah, but why are you closing? Okay. I wonder if I can relinquish service. Yeah. Bye, train. I'll be like gone then. When's the next one? Oh. It's a bit of a wait for the next train. Come back! It's gone. The 5:51 is the next train out. Find a pub. What? In Glossop. I don't think there's a lot here at like midnight. Yeah, 5:54 goes to Hadfield. Damn it, we can't go through the barriers. Oh well. Actually, no, they both go to Manchester Piccadilly. It's on time, apparently. Well, there's something.
For your safety and comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy.
There's people wait. What are you waiting for? You've got 5.5 hours for the next train. Why are you stood here? There's no train for 5.5 hours. Go home. You've got your case, no younger cases. Go away. No. Oh well. Anyway, there we go. Done. So yeah, so that was... I'm getting the maps out again. That was the Glossop line, which goes from Manchester Piccadilly all the way out to Hadfield and Glossop on the right-hand side of the map. Next Monday, I'm going to be here with this one. Manchester to Alderley Edge. Manchester Airport Commuter finally releases next Tuesday. So that goes from Manchester Piccadilly all the way down to Alderley Edge. So we'll be doing an up and down in that in the 323 again. That's going to be next Monday. Next stream is back tomorrow night with the bus in multiplayer, doing Route 147 in that there Berlin. Thursday night, I think we're going to do some farming. Friday night, playing with our balls, golfing with idiots. Saturday night, some trucking and tunes in ETS2. Sunday lunchtime, back on the farm. And then Monday night, here with the new route. And then back on Tuesday night with more Train Sim World 5. So I'm here now every night, all the way through until next... a week on Sunday. So yes, there's no escape. So there we go. So thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company and lots of cake talk this evening. Enjoyed that one. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for keeping me company for the last couple of hours. To Michael, not Richard, for resubscribing 58 months. Thank you very, very much, Michael. And there we go. Enjoy what's left of your Tuesday night and enjoy your Wednesday. I'll be back with idiots Wednesday night, tomorrow night even, at 6 o'clock to do some bus driving. And enjoy your white chocolate cookies, Connor. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching.